it's Brooke, and today I'm gonna rant for pretty long, I imagine, about what I find the most frustrating about the survivor role. This mostly interests solo queue, in my opinion. Like, it interests solo queue way more than me, but it's also perceivable in a Zwift, and there's only limited things the players can do. It's in a good chunk behavior's fault. But yes, if you're playing solo queue, the part where it's actually the player's fault is gonna be way more evident. So what is this? It is progression, actual progression. Being that challenges, pipping, or just straight up, doing good, gaining blood points in a game. So let's start with the biggest offender, in my opinion, which is the pipping system. I don't think I've ever had any trouble ever pipping up a skiller. If on one day I really want to grind, I can just, I don't know, like get easily from gold 4 to ivory 4, and I'm a person with a job and everything, so it's not like I'm streaming for a living. I can just sit there, and even if I pip once, mostly by just doing what I have to do as a killer, chasing survivors, hooking survivor, even if I perform super bad, I'm at least gonna get the safety pip, no matter which rank I'm at. As survivor though, oh boy, uh, especially in the area, a lot of people can tell you that it looks like you have to do so many things to actually pip up a survivor. But the point is, these things for your role are not different from the things the killer has to do. The difference is this: the killer has to do it all alone, and it is, it's accounted for. You have to chase, you have to hook, you have to down, and there's only you. No one else is going to do it. So the pipping system for killer has been created with that in mind. It's normal. It's just something that will happen. There's no one else. But as survivor, being it a team role, sometimes in order to progress the game for the best and ensure the more escapes possible, you will have to be relegated to a specific role. Um, and I think this is the point where behavior becomes absolutely bipolar about its own game. So, um, they don't want survivors to be one-man armies, which is totally fine for me because survivor again is a team role, and if someone in the team fails to keep the pace with everyone else, then yeah, it's completely fine for every survivor to die because you're not supposed to survive alone. There's why there is 4 survivors and 1 killer. But on the other side, you get harshly punished in terms of progression and pips and blood points for doing what makes the most sense. So let's say that I am in a trial, and my goal is to make as many people escape as possible because this is stated by behavior. This is the goal, okay? And my teammates are doing a great job. Someone is unlocking with a good unlocking and dealing build. The other 2 people are looping and they're doing it pretty well. The killer is not bothering me at all. Why should I leave gens? There's no reason for me to leave gens. I should be just doing all the gens. But guess what? In this game, I may at most safety pip if I'm lucky. If I'm in the iris, I can depip because I never saw the killer. Maybe I never even got on hooks and I got like 1 protection hit at the end of the game for some reason. I play the game optimally and I don't get rewarded for that. Now, you may be like, why do you care? It's only blood points. Well, I personally do not care. Um, I can play this game enough. I play a lot of killer, so I do get all the blood points that I want. But I'm thinking about someone that doesn't have as much time to play, doesn't like playing killer, or plays killer that don't reward you with all the blood points, and they just want to progress, especially if they're new at the game. How are they gonna do that if playing the game optimally does not reward them for playing the game optimally? If they have to go out of their way, do stupid things, get chased in moment where they should not get chased, leave their gen, not completing it to get an unhook in order to maybe secure a pip, cleanse del totems or some shit. Otherwise, they don't get these 2 million blood points that could make the difference for them. But let's be honest, it's not even that much of a reward. It's not precious. Like blood points are given away left and right at every event, every time. So why isn't the PP system for survival more forgiving? Why isn't it easier for survivors to just be rewarded for a good play and get this million blood points at the end of the month that would help the people that need it the most, that will help the survivors that don't have that much time to play? I do not know. My suggestion in order to help for this is for behavior to make a pipping system that rewards you for playing and doing things in general. So, if you DC, this is a DPIP. If you participate at the game, but not much happens, or you get tunneled out, so the game is very short, you get a safety pip anyway for playing it, as long as it didn't disconnect. If you got at least one Anuk, at least one healing, and did, at least one gen, you get one pip, which doesn't look like much to me. You get chased, whatever, and you get a minimum amount of everything. And if you get a bigger amount of everything and, you contribute to your team escaping in a more consistent way, you get a double pip. But this would be great because at least you wouldn't the pip because the killer is AFK. You wouldn't the pip because you got tunneled or slugged for 4 minutes and whatever. This would be amazing because so many times at every rank, but especially in the Ares, this is so frustrating. You are one pip away from your next grade and you got tunneled for 4 games in a row. And even if your entire team escapes, even if you just loop the killer for 5 gens, uh, you sometimes just depip because you did nothing else, and that's it. This is what you get for playing optimally. I don't think it makes sense. And there's more. There's way more because every tome releases with challenges that are literally throwing for survivors. Wild killer challenges are things like hook survivors, down survivor. The most it's gonna ask you to go out of your way is either playing a killer you're not comfortable with. Like I probably had the worst Tony performance anyone ever had in their entire history some days ago to do the challenge, but who cares? Just one game. Or they require you to maybe, I don't know, just go slightly out of your way to be sure this game you're gonna kill the obsession. Like, okay, it's fine. But look at survivor challenges. Cleanse 15 totems. Okay, so if we have hexes, sure. But if we don't, why would I cleanse a dull totem? Especially if I'm sure the killer doesn't have Noed. If I start a game and I see that the killer has Corrupt Intervention, Parents, DMS, Sloppy Butcher, why do I cleanse those? Why? It makes no sense, especially in solo queue when you want to play as optimally as possible because since you have no communication, there is less forgiveness for your mistakes. I don't want to cleanse dolls. I don't want to open 4 chests. Why? Why do these challenges require me to throw? I really don't understand. And this is in the newest tomes. If you look at the old ones, there is shit like complete 4 gens in a single trial. Like my brother in Christ, if I complete 4 gens in a single trial, I'm probably gonna depip. So what do you want me to do as a survivor? Like, why do you tell me to get good? Because basically that's what is being told to survivors. But then you give me challenges where even if I'm good, I cannot show it, and even if I play super greatly, I'm not rewarded for it. So behavior, please fix your pipping system for survivor because it makes absolutely zero sense and it's just frustrating to play into. Well, yeah, I guess this is my kind of frustrated TED talk. Like, I'm not mad because I don't really mind. I play in as wave. If I really need a pip, my teammates are gonna go down for me. But if I'm in solo queue, how do I know? How do I know that the survivor in my team has to cleanse 15 totems while I just, need to do a team play and they're just not caring? They're gonna spend the entire time just cleansing dolls. Or how do I know that this other survivor has to end a challenge by stunning the killer with add-on 4 times in a single try and they're gonna throw for that too? It's so frustrating. I don't even have a way to know which challenges my teammates have active as I log into the game. I don't even have a way to know which perks they have so that I can, for example, take chase first if they have deliverance or some shit. Why are these super basic things not in the game that could really help people getting to their blood point goals? You know, I don't know. And last but not least, the game doesn't show you how to play Survivor correctly as a team. It shows you when you do the tutorial, it shows you how to unhook, it shows you how to heal, how to untrap someone. Sure, very nice. But it doesn't tell you, like, look, sometimes you just have to take chase and or die in order for the other to escape. The most important thing in the game, the goal is not for you personally to escape, but for as many people as possible to escape. And the most important thing that you need to develop is the game sense to understand when is the time to take a hook state or a hit or a down or a whatever. It doesn't show you, for example, how you should sometimes if you're dead on hook and the killer is looking for you and the gen is close to being completed, how it's more important for you to get down and hook and die and let the gen be completed and the others escape, because otherwise maybe it's just gonna rust the gen. But if you're there, you're the only one that don't hook, they're gonna take the chance and it's gonna be much easier for the others. The game doesn't show you this, and it should, because that's the entire point of playing Survivor, playing as a team, sacrificing yourself for the sake of others. Okay, I guess this is the end of my rant. I really hope we're gonna see some improvement in the pipping system, because yeah, it's frustrating and cringe sometimes, and everyone complains about it. So many people, casual players, of course, complain about it. And if Behavior wants to cater its game more to their casual players, then yeah, this is the way. Make it more accessible to them. Make them gain blood points easier. Make them feel rewarded for playing correctly and for playing. It's not your fault if you get tunneled for 35 times in a row. It's not your fault if you get slugged and BM'd on the floor. And this really happens, especially when you start playing. You should be rewarded for playing the game and not DCing. And you should be rewarded for doing your best, unhooking, healing, or just be in a corner and do gens, because that is what is required to you at the moment for your best game sense and judgment from what is happening in the game. Bye.